You ever wake up to just great news? It's already a great day for me. One, it's my first actual day off since I started my new job. So that's good because I'm tired as hell. Second, waking up to be proven right is always a great feeling. I mean, it happens to me very often, but in this particular case, it's pretty great. Today, we find that, surprise, surprise, good old Dr. Trey and Dark Cloud 1983 have been 100% right this entire time. And it couldn't have come at a better time. Like, the timing on this is so perfect because last night, just a few hours ago, I was just in a chat with Breezy TV, Solo, Baron, and also in there with the Truth MVP. And we were pretty much talking about, I brought up the Wii U. And the Truth was telling me that he didn't see why people would buy the Wii U version of a game over the PS3 or 360, and was telling me that, asking me if I honestly thought that the Wii U was going to be more powerful than the PS3, and I said, of course it will be. And everybody's like, oh, well, we'll see. So, and the reason I told them that people would buy the Wii U, especially a lot of the graphic cores, because they have to have the best version of everything. So if the Wii U comes out with the definitive best looking version of all ports, people will buy a Wii U. And waking up this morning to this news was just hilarious. So I'm gonna read it to you. This is actually just an excerpt from the interview that's on Go Nintendo, but pretty much it's an interview with the THQ employee discussing the Wii specs and its power. And one of the questions they asked, they say, in what ways would the Wii U version be superior over the PS3 and 360 versions? He says, well, the Wii U is full of potential as far as specs go. I know that Metro the Light is running at a good 50 to 60 frames per second on PC, so I'm not sure how the Wii U version will compare to that. But the Wii U version of games from all developers and publishers have the potential for much smoother frame rates, improved textures, and additional bonus content that the 360 and PS3 versions won't have. In a way, buying the Wii U version over the 360 PS3 versions will be like buying the Blu-ray version of a movie instead of the DVD version. He says you get better visuals and more additional content with the Wii U version of any game compared to the console version, any other console version. He said, but he notes, of course, this will only happen as long as a developer or publisher puts in the time and effort instead of doing a straight port, which publishers like Ubisoft will probably do. Now, next question, they said, I noticed a lot of games for 360 and PS3 don't take advantage of true 1080p. Actually, hardly none of them, probably 3 of them. And he said, could we see more games on Wii U taking advantage of true 1080p resolution? Now, this is something that a lot of people already know, but most people don't, so we'll nail this in the head. He answers by saying the Wii U is much more powerful than the other HD consoles. Did you get that? The Wii U is much more powerful than the other HD consoles. So the Wii won't have a huge problem doing 1080p for the majority of its games. Then he says, will Darksiders 2 and Metro the Light be in 1080p on Wii U? I can't speak for the teams behind those games. And he says, I don't work on those specific teams, so I can't say what they plan to do with the Wii versions of their games as far as graphics and contents, though. He says, I do know Based on the specs I've seen, the console is more than capable of graphics that surpass current consoles. He says, it's like I said before, expect the majority of Wii U games from most publishers to have true 1080p. So you guys wondering, well, why would I buy the Wii version now? It's a port. Because it looks way better and runs way better and is the definitive version. You guys over it's funny, the same people are like, why would I buy the Wii U version I get on a PS3 or I'll get on my 360, are the same people that be counting frames and not counting frames, counting pixel differences between games. But when there's a big difference, like a resolution difference, it's not that big of a deal. I'll just get it on my old system. That's kind of funny. Yeah, he says, if you want the definitive version of any game in your library, I would suggest either the PC version or the Wii U version, at least for now. And he says, this isn't a knock against the 360 versions of games either. Fans of the 360 and PS3 are the majority of the gamers who game, period. So publishers will give them the best product we can. So pretty much they're saying they're trying to match the Wii U versions. Now, this is another thing. Last question that they post. This isn't the full interview. This is just excerpts. There's a good question. He says there's a lot of emphasis. This is for a lot of people this is a good question, especially for a lot of people that think, hold up, yeah, the Wii U has good graphics, but the PS4 and then Xbox 720 are just gonna blow the Wii U away graphically. This kind of kills this right there, this explanation. This is the question. There is a lot of emphasis on graphics nowadays. Where do you see graphics going with future consoles, and will the Wii U be able to compete graphically against new consoles from Sony and Microsoft? This is his question. This is his answer to that question. Listening to people within the company, people are pretty happy about the specs of the Wii U. I don't think anyone has anything to worry about. There's one thing I want to mention though. Better graphics is not all rosy for gamers in the long run. Better graphics means that game developers have to increase their staff and their budgets so that games will tap the full potential of next-gen hardware. The cost to hire more artists or programmers to a team would get passed down to gamers, which is why 360 and PS3 games went up $10 compared to previous generation with PS2, GameCube, and Xbox. It's fun to dream about the possibilities of what kind of graphics you could see on a console if it had 10 times better graphics than current consoles. But with a console that's 10 times more powerful, expect $10 to be added to the price tag every generation. So you guys want to buy $70 games? I don't. And he says, again, I'm just speculating. I'm not saying any publisher would add to the price, but games aren't selling like they used to, and outside of Call of Duty, and costs to produce high budget games need to be passed down to the consumers who can afford to play. I predict a very expensive future in gaming. Hey, what can I say? Great interview. Great interview. Thanks, THQ. Thanks for owning all the Wii U haters. And for all you Wii U haters out there that are still hating, you mad? Excellent.